Welcome to the Ramayana, stories of dharm and devotion. I'm Sandeep, your storyteller, guiding you through the eternal journey of Valmiki's Ramayana. Our narrative draws deeply from Valmiki's original text and is enriched with stories from other Indian traditions, offering you a complete and immersive experience of this eternal tale. Share this podcast with your loved ones and let the timeless lessons of the Ramayana inspire your journey. In our previous episode, the war of Lanka reached its fiercest turning point. Lakshman stood before Indrajit at Nikumbhila and broke the ritual that could have made him invincible. We saw a battle where arrows filled the sky and divine weapons clashed with unstoppable force. Hanuman shattered the sacred fire. Vibhishan stood firm against his own blood. And in the end, Lakshman called upon truth and released the arrow that brought down Indrajit, the terror of the worlds. The heavens rejoiced. But in Lanka, grief took over. Raavan collapsed in sorrow. Mandodari wept for her son. And the war moved one step closer to its final end. In today's episode, the silence after Indrajit's fall turns into a storm of rage. We will see Raavan, broken by grief, rise with deadly anger and rush toward Ashok Vatika to kill Sita. We will witness wisdom stand against madness, as Suparshva and Mandodari stop him from committing a terrible sin. We will see Raavan choose the path of war and march toward the battlefield himself, ignoring the signs of his coming end. We will witness a brutal clash where demons and Vanars fall in great numbers, and mighty warriors like Sugreev, Angad, and Jambavan bring down powerful demon chiefs. We will then see Raavan face Ram, and in a rare moment, recognize the divine within him. Yet, bound by destiny, he will choose to fight. We will witness Lakshman step forward, only to be struck down by a terrible weapon that shakes even the heavens. We will feel Ram's deepest grief, as he questions fate and the meaning of victory itself. But hope will rise again. Sushen will guide the way. Hanuman will take flight on a mission where time itself must be stopped. We will see him outwit demons, defeat Kalnemi, hold back the sun, and lift a mountain to bring life back to Lakshman. Join me now, as grief turns into courage, as time is held still for dharm, and as the war moves into its most intense and final phase. The night in Lanka had changed. Indrajit was gone. The greatest shield of Raavan had fallen. And now Raavan stood alone with his grief. Inside his palace, silence filled the air. Raavan sat still. His eyes were empty yet burning. The news of his son's death echoed again and again in his mind. Slowly his grief turned into anger. A dangerous anger. He stood up suddenly. He roared, "This is all because of Sita. Lanka burns because of her. My son is gone because of her." His breath grew heavy as continued, "If Sita is no longer alive, all this will end. Indrajit cut an illusion, I will cut the real Sita." With that, Raavan picked up his sword. His steps were fast and filled with rage. He marched straight toward Ashok Vatika. Mandodari saw this. Fear filled her heart. She understood what Raavan was about to do. Controlling her grief, she rushed behind him. In Ashok Vatika, Sita felt a sudden fear. The air had changed. She looked up and saw Raavan coming toward her, sword in hand, eyes filled with fury. Her heart trembled. She thought, "He has killed Ram, he has killed Lakshman, and now he comes for me." She folded her hands and cried out, "O Ram, protect me." Raavan came closer. He raised his sword. At that very moment Suparshva, a wise and upright minister, stepped forward. He bowed slightly and spoke with courage. He said, "My king, do not do this. This act is not worthy of you." Raavan glared at him. Suparshva continued, "You are a great warrior. Your anger should be shown on the battlefield, not on a helpless woman. This will not bring you victory. It will only bring more dishonor." Raavan paused. For a moment, his steps slowed. Just then, Mandodari reached him. She grabbed his arm firmly. She said, "You are a learned king. Do not fall into such sin." Her voice trembled, but her words were strong. She continued, "To kill a helpless woman will only destroy you further. Lanka is already drowning in sorrow. Do not add more fire to it." Raavan stood still. Two voices of truth stood before him. Slowly he lowered his sword. Without another word, he turned back. He left Ashok Vatika. But his anger did not fade. It only changed direction. Back in his palace, Raavan made a decision. He said, "If not Sita, then Ram. I will go to the battlefield myself." He did not wait. Fearing that Mandodari might stop him again, he quickly gathered his weapons. He walked straight to his chariot. Mandodari came once more. Her eyes were filled with tears. She stood before him. She pleaded, "Return Sita. Save what is left of Lanka." Raavan did not listen. His face was hard. His mind was fixed. Mandodari closed her eyes. Tears rolled down her cheeks. She folded her hands and prayed to the gods. Then she stepped aside. Raavan climbed onto his chariot. The wheels began to move. And with that the final battle drew closer. The drums of war echoed across Lanka. At Raavan's command, the demon army marched forward. Chariots rolled. Weapons shone. War cries filled the sky. They reached the battlefield with fierce intent. The demons charged. Spears flew. Swords flashed. Arrows rained down like fire. The Vanars fought back with courage. They threw rocks. They uprooted trees. They roared with strength. But the attack was heavy. The demons struck with powerful weapons. Soon, many Vanars were wounded. They stepped back. They looked toward Ram, seeking refuge. Ram stood calm. His eyes were steady. He lifted his bow. Then his arrows flew. Fast, sharp, unstoppable. Each arrow found its mark. Demons fell one after another. Chariots broke. Weapons shattered. The battlefield turned in moments. Ram moved like time itself. Swift, silent, certain. Within no time the demon army began to fall apart. Far away in Lanka the news reached the homes. The female demons gathered. Their cries filled the streets. They wept for their husbands, for their sons, for their brothers. Their sorrow turned into anger. They spoke among themselves. One said, "All this began because of Surpanakha." Another added, "She went to the forest and brought this destruction upon us." A third said bitterly, "She was the cause and Raavan brought Sita here by force. And since that day this war has not stopped." Their voices grew sharper. One said, "He did not listen to Vibhishan. He gave wise advice. He spoke of dharm. But Raavan ignored him." Another looked at the sky and said, "There are bad signs everywhere. The winds are strange. The birds cry at night. This is not a good time for Lanka." One among them spoke in fear, "I remember long ago the celestials had prayed to Shiv. They had asked for relief from the demons. They were granted a boon that a woman would be born. A woman who would bring the end of the demons." Silence fell. They whispered, "Is that woman Sita?" Fear spread among them. Meanwhile Surpanakha stood among them. Her face showed worry. She said loudly, "Do not fear. Raavan will win. He is invincible." But inside her thoughts were different. A quiet smile hid behind her grief. She remembered her husband who had been killed by Raavan himself. And she had made a promise, a silent vow that Raavan will fall one day. While the females in Lanka thought it was Sita who would bring the end of demons, perhaps it's not Sita but Surpanakha who is responsible for the fall of demons. Now that day was coming closer. And in her heart Surpanakha felt a strange satisfaction. The cries of Lanka did not stay hidden for long. The grief of the female demons, their sorrow, their anger reached the ears of Raavan. Raavan heard it all. His face darkened. His anger rose like a storm. He stood before them and spoke with fire, "I will take revenge. I will kill Ram. I will kill Lakshman. I will destroy the Vanar chiefs." The demons looked at him with hope. Raavan turned. His decision was made. Accompanied by mighty demon warriors, Raavan marched toward the battlefield. His chariot rolled forward with power. Weapons shone in his hands. But as he moved strange signs appeared. The sky grew dim. Winds blew in odd directions. Birds cried loudly. Raavan saw them. These were bad omens. Signs of danger. Signs of death. But Raavan ignored them. His pride stood stronger than fear. Soon, the sound of the demon army reached the battlefield. The earth trembled with their arrival. The Vanars heard it. They turned back again. They rushed forward with loud roars. And once again the battlefield came alive. A fierce fight began. Monkeys and demons clashed with full force. Stones struck armor. Claws met swords. The air was filled with chaos. Raavan entered the fight. He moved like a raging fire. With each strike, Vanars fell. With each step, fear spread. He crushed many in his path. He cleared his way forward. His eyes searched for one target, Ram. He moved ahead, breaking through the Vanar lines. He was ready to face Ram. Meanwhile Sugreev was fighting on another side. He stood strong among the Vanars. With his leaders beside him, he attacked the demon chiefs. They fought fiercely. And one by one the demon leaders fell. Just then a powerful demon entered the field. Virupaksh. His presence was heavy. His attack was sudden. He rushed toward Sugreev. Their clash was fierce, but Sugreev did not step back. With great strength, he raised his hand and struck. A powerful slap landed on Virupaksha's temple. The force was crushing. Virupaksha fell, lifeless. The Vanars roared in victory. The battle did not slow. It only grew fiercer. From the demon ranks, another warrior entered. Mahodar. Huge, cruel, ruthless. He rushed into the battlefield like a storm. His weapon rose and fell again and again. Vanars screamed. Arms were cut. Legs were torn. Bodies fell to the ground. Fear spread among the Vanars. Some ran for their lives. Some rushed toward Sugreev for protection. Sugreev saw the destruction. His eyes burned with anger. He stepped forward. He said, I will stop him. Sugreev charged at Mahodar. The clash was powerful. Sugreev moved fast. With sharp strikes, he attacked the chariot. He killed the horses first. The chariot shook and broke. Mahodar jumped down. Now both stood face to face. Their weapons clashed. Blow after blow. Strike after strike. Soon their weapons broke. But the fight did not end. They rushed at each other. Locked in combat. They wrestled with full force. Pushing. Pulling. Striking. The ground shook beneath them. Both grew tired. Their breath grew heavy. But Sugreev gathered his strength. He picked up a huge sword. With one powerful strike he cut off Mahodar's head. Mahodar fell. The Vanars roared again. But the battle was not over. Another demon entered. Mahaparshv. He attacked with fury. He struck the Vanars again and again. Many fell before him. Seeing this, Angad stepped forward. His eyes were sharp. His body ready. Angad said, I will face him. He rushed toward Mahaparshv. Their clash shook the battlefield. At that moment Jambavan also entered. Calm. Strong. Wise. He moved toward the chariot. With great force, he broke it. He destroyed the horses. Mahaparshva lost his balance. Angad saw his chance. He struck quickly. He knocked away Mahaparshva's bow. Then his helmet fell to the ground. Mahaparshva stood exposed. Angad stepped forward. He gathered all his strength. And with a mighty blow of his fist he struck Mahaparshva. The force was crushing. Mahaparshva fell, lifeless. The Vanars roared louder than ever. One by one the demon warriors were falling. The battlefield had now turned into a storm. Raavan entered with full fury. Whoever stood before him fell. His arrows moved like lightning. Nal fell. Neel fell. Many Vanars collapsed one after another. Fear spread again. Raavan's power seemed unstoppable. He turned to his charioteer. He commanded, take me to Ram. The chariot rushed forward. Soon Raavan saw Ram standing in the battlefield. For a moment Raavan froze. He looked again. But what he saw was not just Ram. He saw the universe. Stars. Planets. Sky. Creation itself. Everything seemed to exist within Ram. Raavan's eyes widened. He realized, he is Vishnu indeed. A strange calm came over him. He smiled slightly. He thought, if I die at his hands, I will rise higher. His fear vanished. Only resolve remained. He lifted his bow. The final battle began. Arrows flew from both sides. The sky roared with their force. Raavan's arrows struck Ram. Sharp. Fast. Relentless. For a moment Ram stepped back. Seeing this, Lakshman moved forward. Lakshman said, I will face him. Lakshman attacked with speed. His arrows cut down the charioteer. The horses fell. Vibhishan joined him. With his mace, he struck the chariot. It broke apart. Raavan stood on the ground now. His eyes turned toward Vibhishan. He said with anger, it is because of you that our dynasty is destroyed. He picked up a spear. Deadly. Fierce. He aimed it at Vibhishan. Vibhishan called out, Lakshman. Save me. Lakshman reacted instantly. 3 arrows flew. They struck the spear and broke it midair. Raavan's anger rose further. He lifted another weapon. A spear given by Yama. A weapon of death. He aimed again at Vibhishan. But Lakshman did not allow it. His arrows cut it down again. Raavan's face darkened. Now he remembered another weapon. A divine spear. Given by Maya, his father-in-law. The terrible spear of Maya. He held it tightly. Its power shook the air. He looked at Lakshman. He said coldly, you saved Vibhishan. Now save yourself if you can. Think of your loved ones. You are about to die. He hurled the weapon. The sky trembled. Even the gods in heaven grew afraid. The spear moved like death itself, straight toward Lakshman. Ram saw it. His heart raced. He stepped forward and said, "O divine weapon, spare Lakshman. If you must kill, then take my life instead." A voice came from the weapon. Calm. Bound. It said, "I must obey the one who holds me. I cannot turn away." In the next moment the spear struck. It pierced Lakshman straight through his body. The sharp end came out from the other side. Silence fell. Lakshman gasped. His body trembled. Ram stood frozen. For a moment he did not know what to do. The Vanars rushed in. They tried to pull out the spear, but no one could move it. Finally Ram stepped forward. With great strength and pain he pulled the spear out. At once, Raavan attacked again. Arrows rained down. The Vanars quickly carried Lakshman away. They tried to save him. Ram turned back to Raavan. Now there was fire in his eyes. His arrows flew with unmatched force. Fast, fierce, precise. Raavan could not hold. For the first time he stepped back. Then he turned and fled the battlefield. The war had reached its most painful moment. Lakshman lay wounded. Ram stood alone. Lakshman lay on the ground, still, pale, bleeding. Ram stood beside him. His bow was still in his hand, but his strength was gone. He looked at Lakshman. His voice trembled. He said, "What is the use of this war, if Lakshman is not with me? What is the use of victory, of life, even of bringing Sita back?" His eyes filled with tears. He continued, "How will I return to Ayodhya? How will I face my mothers, Bharat, Shatrughan?" His voice broke. He said softly, "It is better that I die here than live with this pain. When I left Ayodhya, my father died. In the forest my wife was taken away. And now Lakshman lies before me like this." His voice broke. He said, "Why is fate testing me from all sides? What wrong have I done?" The Vanars stood silent. Sugreev stepped forward. He spoke gently, "Ram, every human who is born must face pain. No one escapes it." Vibhishan also came near. He said, "This is the way of life. Even the greatest must go through trials. But you must stand strong." The battlefield fell silent around him. Even the Vanars lowered their heads. At that moment, Hanuman moved quickly. He went and brought Sushen again, the healer from Lanka. At that moment Sushen stepped forward. Calm, wise, focused. He went near Lakshman. He examined him carefully. He looked at his face. He checked his breath. He placed his hand on his chest. Then he turned to Ram. He said, "Do not lose hope. Lakshman is still alive." Ram looked up suddenly. Sushen continued, "His color has not faded completely. His life force is still there. We can save him, but we must act quickly." Ram stepped closer. He said, "Tell me what to do." Sushen continued, "Send Hanuman to bring the medicine. With that I will bring Lakshman back to life." Ram said softly, "I am not in a state to command. Please tell Hanuman what to do." Sushen turned to Hanuman. He said, "Hanuman, listen carefully. Go to the mountain called Gandhamadan." Hanuman stood ready, focused. Sushen continued, "There grows a powerful herb called Vishalekarani. That herb will save Lakshman." He described the path. The mountain has many peaks. On one peak lives God Shiv. On another, the sun shines bright. One peak is home to Gandharvas. Another is filled with tall sal trees. One has lions and tigers. One has a flowing river. On the banks of that river, you will find the medicinal plants. They have blue flowers, yellow leaves, red branches and golden vines. Then he warned, "You must bring it before sunrise. And beware the Gandha Rvs Haha and who guard that place." Ram listened. Then he said with concern, "This journey will take years. How will Hanuman return before dawn?" Hanuman stepped forward. He said with confidence, "Do not worry. I will bring the medicine before the night ends." He folded his hands to Ram. Then he prepared himself. He gathered his strength. He bent low. He used his tail for balance. And with one mighty leap he rose into the sky. His body grew large, huge like a mountain. He flew across forests, rivers and peaks. As Hanuman sped through the air, Raavan saw him. Raavan understood. He thought, Hanuman is going for the medicine. If he returns before sunrise, Lakshman will live. His eyes grew sharp. He thought of ways to stop him. He called for Kalnemi, a demon skilled in magic. Kalnemi arrived. Raavan said, "Go to Gandhamadan and stop Hanuman. If he succeeds, Lakshman will live. If he fails, Lakshman will die." He added, "If you kill Hanuman, I will give you half of Lanka." Kalnemi hesitated. He said, "Hanuman is clever. If he sees me, he will kill me." Raavan said, "There is a way. Let me tell you. There is a stream on that mountain. A crocodile lives there. No one dares to enter. Take the form of a sage. When Hanuman comes, ask him to bathe in that stream. The crocodile will kill him." Kalnemi sighed. He said, "You are sending me to my death. You yourself were struck down by him once." Raavan's anger rose. Kalnemi bowed. He said, "Then let it be. I will die either way." Kalnemi, with 4 heads and many arms, took the form of a sage. He went to Gandhamadan. He built a false ashram and waited. Soon Hanuman arrived. He saw the sage. He bowed respectfully. He said, "I am Hanuman. I seek the herb Vishalyakarani. I must return before dawn." Kalnemi smiled. He said, "First rest. Eat something." Hanuman said, "I have no time." Kalnemi insisted. He said, "Do not go hungry. It is a sin. There is a stream nearby. Take a bath and return. I will help you." Hanuman agreed. He went to the stream. He jumped into the water. The splash echoed. From below the crocodile rushed forward. Kumbharini. She grabbed Hanuman. Hanuman was surprised, but not afraid. He leaped out of the water, dragging her with him. With his nails he tore her apart. Suddenly the crocodile changed form. A celestial woman appeared. She rose into the sky. She said, "I am Gandhkali. I was cursed by a sage to become a crocodile. I was told I would be freed when I met you." She warned him, "Beware of that false sage. He is a demon." And she vanished. Hanuman understood. Meanwhile Kalnemi smiled to himself. He thought, "Hanuman must be dead. I will soon rule Lanka." Just then Hanuman appeared. Kalnemi froze. Hanuman said firmly, "You are no sage. Show your true form." Kalnemi revealed himself. A fierce demon. They fought. The battle was short. Hanuman pressed him down. With his strength, he killed him. He lifted the body, spun it in the air, and threw it far away. The body fell in Lanka. Raavan saw it. He was shocked. He grew desperate. He called for the sun. He said, "Rise now." The sun replied, "It is still night. It is not time." Raavan said, "I do not care." The sun had no choice. He began to rise. Hanuman saw this. He leaped into the sky. He stood before the sun. The sun stopped. He asked, "Who blocks my path?" The charioteer replied, "A Vanar." The sun said, "I will burn him." Hanuman bowed. He said, "Do not rise now. Lakshman will die." The sun replied, "I cannot disobey Raavan." Hanuman made a bold move. He caught the sun and held him under his arm. The sky froze. Time stood still. Hanuman did not stop. He went back to the mountain. He began searching again. Peak after peak. Forest after forest. Then he saw something. Gandharvas. They were singing, dancing, glowing with light. Hanuman went to them. He folded his hands and said, "I seek the sacred herbs. Tell me where I can find them." The Gandharvas looked at him. They said, "We obey only our kings Haha and Huhu." Without another word they attacked. Hanuman stood firm. He fought back. Strong. Fast. Fearless. Soon Haha and Huhu arrived. Their presence was powerful. They rushed into battle. But Hanuman was unstoppable. He defeated them. They fell. Hanuman did not wait. He moved again. From one peak to another. Searching and searching. But he could not find the herb. Time was slipping away. Hanuman stopped. He looked at the mountain. Then he made his decision. With great strength he pulled at the mountain. The earth shook. Trees fell. Animals ran in fear. And then Hanuman uprooted the mountain. Holding it high he jumped into the sky and flew towards the battlefield in Lanka. Hanuman continued his flight. The mountain rested in his hands. Raavan saw him again. His anger returned. He said, "Stop him." He sent 7 powerful demons. They flew into the sky. They rushed toward Hanuman. They tried to grab him. But Hanuman smiled. With his tail he caught them all. He spun them with force and smashed them to the ground. They died instantly. Only one survived. He escaped and went back to Raavan. Without delay Hanuman turned back toward the battlefield. Soon, he placed the mountain before Sushen. Sushen smiled. He quickly found the herbs. He prepared them. He removed the remaining effects of the weapon. He applied the medicines. A sweet fragrance filled the air. The herbs began their work. Lakshman's body responded. His breath became steady. His wounds closed. Slowly his eyes opened. Lakshman rose. Strong. Alive. Whole. Ram rushed to him. His eyes were filled with joy. He embraced his brother. Far away, the Vanars saw him. Joy spread. Jambavan said wisely, "It is best that Hanuman returns the mountain safely after this." Hanuman agreed. He picked the mountain again and placed it back carefully. Still unsure of the exact herb, he picked some leaves. He crushed them in his hands. Their juice spread in the air. It fell upon the Gandharvas he had defeated. They came back to life. But once again they rushed toward Hanuman. Hanuman did not stop. He had no time. He turned and flew back toward Lanka. Soon he reached Ram. Ram looked at him. Then he noticed something. He asked, "What is this under your arm?" Hanuman bowed and said, "I held the sun, so that time would not move." Ram looked at him with calm strength. He said, "Release him." Hanuman nodded. He opened his arms. The sun came out. He rose into the sky. Light spread again. Time began to move. Ram stepped forward. He embraced Hanuman. In that moment hope shone brighter than ever. Then Ram looked at Lakshman. His sorrow turned into strength. The fire returned to his eyes. In this episode, we saw grief turn into rage. After the fall of Indrajit, Raavan rose in anger and rushed toward Ashok Vatika with a deadly intent. We witnessed how wisdom stood in his path. Suparshva spoke with courage. Mandodari spoke with truth. And for a moment, Raavan stepped back from a sin that would have destroyed him completely. But his anger did not fade. It turned toward the battlefield. We saw Raavan enter the war with terrifying force. Vanars fell before him. Nal, Neel, and many others could not stand against his arrows. We saw Sugreev, Angad, and Jambavan rise to face powerful demon warriors. Mahodar fell. Mahaparshva fell. One by one, the strength of Lanka was breaking. Yet Raavan himself stood like a storm, moving closer to Ram. We witnessed a rare and powerful moment. Raavan looked at Ram and saw not just a warrior, but the entire universe within him. For a brief second, he understood the truth. Yet bound by his pride and destiny, he chose to fight. The battle between Ram and Raavan shook the battlefield. Lakshman stepped forward to protect his brother, but fate took a harsh turn. A terrible weapon struck him down. Even the heavens trembled as Lakshman fell. We felt Ram's deepest sorrow. He questioned fate. He questioned life itself. Sugreev and Vibhishan reminded him of the path of dharm. Sushen brought hope. And once again, Hanuman rose when all seemed lost. We saw him face deception, defeat Kalnemi, and overcome every obstacle placed by Raavan. We saw him hold back time itself by stopping the sun. And when he could not find the herb, he lifted a mountain, carrying life back to the battlefield. In the end, Lakshman rose again. Life returned. Strength returned. And with it, hope returned to Ram's army. But Raavan still lives. And his mind now turns toward darker paths. In the next episode, we will see Raavan call upon Mahiravan, the ruler of the netherworlds. We will witness a new kind of danger rise from beneath the earth itself. The war will not just be fought on land or in sky but in the shadows below. Join me in the next episode, as fury, illusion, and fate meet once more on the burning fields of Lanka. Share this podcast with your loved ones and let the timeless lessons of the Ramayana inspire your journey. Though the details of this ancient tale may vary across traditions, its essence reminds us of the enduring power of compassion, courage, and hope in the face of adversity. Until next time, may the light of dharm illuminate your path and fill your heart with peace.